You're listening to the Fighting News Live, and it is Thursday night. It's Thursday night, right? This is our second show this week. I'm not going to introduce ourselves again. You can watch yesterday's show for that. I'm Matt, this is Steve-O, but we're on with Lorenzo, Dream Killer, the real Dream
Yeah.
Killer Hood.
Yes, sir.
And it's always a pleasure to talk to this guy. He's always got something to say. How are you tonight, sir?
What's up,
Man,
Lorenzo?
what's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Good, good.
I'm at the gym right now, so it's always fun, Yeah, man, I'm excited. How you guys doing, man? It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just doing our thing here, interviewing people. Looking forward to a lot of events coming up at the end of January and into February. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's
Everything.
amazing.
Boxing, MMA, bare knuckle.
Yeah,
It's
you got a
all
little
coming
bit of
up.
everything.
And yeah, it's difficult though, because it's like, where do you go? We got some nights where we're booked, not that we're booked, but we got to choose what events we want to cover, where we want to go,
Yeah,
and it comes down to who we like more, I guess, right,
yeah.
Steve?
I guess that's definitely what it comes down to, man. Or who's
Yeah,
more exciting? What do you think is going to be exciting, or what do you think is going to be more fun? That's always a big contributor to it.
exactly. But you know what the thing is? It's all about gratitude. Also, people that show gratitude. I mean, that's the people that we're gonna cover first. And we have some,
Definitely.
we have some old friends in the sport. We have some new friends in all the sports, and
Yeah,
that's it. One hand washes the other.
So,
definitely.
Lorenzo, you're on a two in a row win streak here.
We're on a three-fight win streak.
Three in a row.
Yeah, three in a row. Yeah.
Talk to me. So you just had a fight with Valor.
Yep.
How'd that go?
Man, it was great, man. It was fun. We fought a jiu-jitsu black belt, which is what we obviously had been a pain in my ass my whole MMA career.
Yeah.
So we wanted to come out and take them down, and we wanted to show the world that we've been training our wrestling and our ground game. And it came out and hit him with a 1-2 right away. Hurt him a little bit. Caught him with an uppercut. And then he tried to shoot. We stuffed it. Then as soon as we clinched up, I went inside trip. And then 25 unanswered strikes later, it was an assault, ground and pound, and it was a good man. It was a great win. It was great. Everything that we have been training and everything that I've been saying I've been doing, we got to show the world that we're doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a quick referee stoppage there. Did he get you here on the nose? Did he get
No,
you one?
so we in one of the exchanges when we had first clinched, he popped his head up really quick, and he the back of his head hit the top of my nose, and I've had this scar, and it opens up at all times. So
Oh yeah.
I didn't get hit in the fight. It was like a little headbutt. It was accidental for sure. It wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it cut me open there, and it was cool though, man. It made for a great picture.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
it made for a great picture. And obviously, usually, man, I leave the fights without having any type of anything, so it felt good to get a little scratch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and even the accidental headbutts hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's fighting, man. So shit happens at all times. No matter.
Oh, yeah.
when you travel, Lorenzo, to go to another state, sometimes in the boxing world and fighting world, they bring in all the people to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring you in. It don't matter what side you're on, you always win. So like
Man.
how was that? How was the other fights on the show? Did everyone that got flown in there from another state, did they all lose?
Yeah, they brought in a lot of out of towners, and I feel like it went to the hometown way.
Yeah.
I think the Serena Southpaw, she won. She beat the hometown girl from OSP's gym. Yeah, man, it was a fun card. I obviously my nickname, man, it says it, Dream Killer, man. So we I've talked about it before, and I've said it for you guys since we started talking. I said, this is my time. My time is,
Yeah.
We're not far from that big show. We're right there, right on that 3-letter show. I don't like to speak on it too much, but we're right there. And I've been saying it. We're just gonna keep fucking gassing people and putting them to sleep, and they're gonna have to let us in. I've said it before, and then we just keep working hard, man. That's the big thing. I don't take anything for granted. Every day I bust my ass. I give this 8, 10, 12 hours a day, all day. So it's not like something where, I know a lot of guys are super gifted and talented, and that's all we rely on. And it takes a while to really understand that this is a full-time job. You got to diet, mental training, physical training. Everything has to be on point, man. Because if it isn't, it'll show at some point, and that's when those losses start to happen.
Yeah. What'd you weigh in at talking about dieting?
I weighed in at 250.1, and I think that's the perfect weight. I mean, for the first time in my life, I feel like cardio, everything, strength is right on point. I feel like that's the perfect weight for me.
Boom. It's just
Very nice.
hard to find a guy that's 250 to fight you. Also.
Yeah, I mean, heavyweights come in all shapes and sizes. Like when I first started fighting in MMA, I would cut from like 295 to make 266, and that was how I did it. And then you have guys who are 230, 235 that probably can make 205, but they don't want to diet. So
Yeah.
they stay at that weight. And then you got those guys who are like the tweeners, like the 245ers. But they look like if they really dieted, they could, or So heavyweight division is a really weird division, man, because then you got these guys that look like Butterbean, and they got cardio for days, and you're like, what the fuck? This guy looks like he's sweating donut grease, but here he is, and he can go 5 rounds, So MMA is such a weird sport, man, because you get guys all different shapes and body sizes, and you're like, well, that dude doesn't look, but looking like a good fighter and being a good fighter, as we both know, are worlds apart. There's a lot of guys that look like Tarzan but hit like James.
It looked like Tarzan's, but hit like Jane. I like that one.
Yeah, it's a true statement,
Nice.
We have David Flat Sparks, who's been on the show before, and he does a little show. It's called all call outs mandatory. So I'd like to use his quote from his show. Shout out to David Flat Sparks. So let's hear those names.
Man, I'm gonna keep calling out the UFC, man. I'm just gonna keep calling them out, man. It's just,
Dana White, let's go.
Yeah, like that's what it is, man. That's my sole purpose every morning that God allows me to wake up is that, like I said, that's where I want to be. I want to touch myself. That's where the legacy, starts and begins for real for me. So I'm just gonna keep doing whatever we got to do. Obviously, I've teamed up with Chicago Fight Team. Down here with Bilal Muhammad, Lewis Taylor, the $1 Million Man, Horatio, the Punisher. So this gym's full of studs here. And my games are elevating every day. We're learning, we're training, we're getting better. Coach Roberto and my other coach, Coach Paul, they've joined sides. So it's just been amazing. The team is amazing. The atmosphere, everything here is so. As usually being a striker, I was always looking for ways to strike, and now we're looking for different ways. Like if a takedown is there, let's take it. Why not? If there's just certain things that I never thought I would ever be thinking of, that now I'm like, oh, like, I'm really excited about it. So, I mean, as far as call-outs go, man, like, I don't know, man. I just want to fight, man. I don't care. I just want to fight.
Anyone doesn't have to be in the top 10.
Yeah,
they just want on the card.
It doesn't matter. I just want to get on the card. So for me, it's, I really would like to fight, a striker, obviously. But if we're gonna fight a wrestler and they give us a wrestler, then we'll be ready for that as well. We'll be ready for whatever. It's just a matter of just keep plugging away. So hopefully we get hopefully we get a bigger show coming up, or if it's, Valor it was a great show. I know they got a belt. I just want to fight. I'm ready to go. So I'm hoping to fight in February or March. And then hopefully that's it, man. Hopefully it just takes one more. I mean, that'll put me at 16 finishes in the first round, man. I'm gonna start whoever the hell I fight next. So, I'm just gonna keep starting people until like I said, they have to let me in. It's my this Coach Roberto right here. So I know a lot of people have been asking me, my new gym. This is Coach Roberto right here.
What's up, Coach?
Yeah. So what's up?
How you doing,
man? So we just been working on everything, man. So it's been amazing, man.
Yeah. So let's go back a few years. in Lorenzo Hood's life.
Okay.
I
This
know a
is your
gym.
life.
I know a gym called Black Zillions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk to me about your experience with the Black Zillions.
Um, you know, you know, the Black Zillions gym was obviously you had a gym full of guys that were at one point in time considered the best in the world.
Yeah,
You know, it was a place with a lot of egos, and I think that was I think everyone knows that. You know, it was not, it was. I met a lot of guys like Rico Verhoeven, Thiago Silva, Phil Hall, guys like that I still remain good friends with. So it wasn't a. I got better, man. You know, I got my ass
yeah,
whooped a lot. It was a huge. I went from being a great white shark in the gym and all of that to being a little goldfish. Um, so it was an amazing experience. I got to train with some of the best in the world. Um, you know, the only difference that I wish that was there more was like Eddie Alvarez was there at the time, Michael Johnson, everybody. It was just I wish it was more of a team atmosphere. But again, when you got guys that are because at that point in time, like these guys were like my idols.
yeah,
Like I was watching Vitor Belfort train. Like I was training with him and Thiago Silva and Stefan Struve and Rashad and Rumble Johnson and all these guys. And Rico Verhoeven. And it was only a couple dudes that like being the younger guy like Rico Verhoeven took me under his wing and he beat the shit out of me, but he taught me some great kickboxing and there was a lot of things that were so for me, man, I feel like the only thing I wish, if there was anything that you could change about it, was just um, the teamwork mentality. But that's
yeah,
that's just how it goes. Sometimes when you got guys that are that great, they don't really. It doesn't really matter. You know
yeah,
how. So I mean, and that Lorenzo Hood back then, man. That guy, I cared about all the wrong shit. And I've said it. People know that. I don't bullshit. I keep it real. I cared about the cars and the Miami Heat front row games that we were at,
yeah.
and partying after we got done with training. And I cared about all the wrong shit, man. And I wasn't.
Right,
I was no like the guy now that stands here would beat the living hell out of that dude at
right.
that point in time, because that dude, like I say all the time, and no, I don't mean anything, but that dude was a mental midget, that guy was back then, and that dude, there was times in my career where it showed, that the immaturity, the lack of training, the refusal to train ground game, like so many things that I look back now and I'm like, wow, I was an asshole.
Yeah,
And now the guy that sits here is like, hey, I'm just a humble dude who just wants to get in there and do what I got to do. I mean, obviously, like, if, I'm going to let you know about it, but, at the same time, like, I respect every day that I get to compete, every day that, I respect everybody in the sport and, what they're doing.
yeah. Were you in the gym when they had the Black Zillions versus American Top Team on?
Yes, I was.
On the Ultimate,
Yeah, when they
were
had
you
it
on the
on
Ultimate Fighter
Ultimate
show?
Fighter. No, I wasn't on Ultimate Fighter show, but we were there at the gym
Yeah.
training. When I had just got down there, they were on episode 2, if I'm not mistaken, when I had got
Okay.
down there. So it was like the beef was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Though it always was
Yeah.
intense, down there. It definitely was a real thing.
That
I mean,
was like the first show
the-
that brought
mhm.
the gyms to a show.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And then you had American Top Team. I mean, that gym is thriving, and I think that gym's thriving only because again they have a teamwork mentality down there. Everybody
yeah.
there in that gym is trying to get better, and I feel like the gyms that do really well and stay really in the limelight are the gyms that are doing that are there's teamwork mentality, because obviously it's an
Yeah.
individual sport, but you definitely got to have a strong team with you. And that's something that I realize now that I didn't realize back then. I always didn't understand that. I was like, oh, it's a me sport, but it's not at all. It's definitely a team sport, 100%.
Yeah. It's really hard, especially when you get all the same guys, in a gym that are in the same weight class, and they're calling each other out, and you're like, you were my friend last year. What happened?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
uh, but that
So,
happens in all the gyms. I mean, it's
yeah,
hard.
I mean,
It's
it's
hard
one thing
not
to
to.
fight. It's one thing to fight your friend, or a training partner, and then it's one thing to completely go like become the world's biggest asshole all of a sudden to a guy who did nothing but try to help you out. So there's a thin line. Obviously you fighting your teammates, you're making money, you do what you got to do. But then there's a way to do it. There's a way you do everything. There's a good way to do things and there's a bad way to do things. And the guy that I used to be, I'd find all the bad ways to do shit. And the guy that I am now, I try to find all the good ways to do it. So I mean that's the biggest maturity growth I could say is just getting older and understanding that there's different things that are more important, especially when you're when you're a pro athlete. It's tough.
Yeah. So what's Daryl talking next? Any shows coming up?
Man,
Because
so
I saw him.
So yeah, he's talking about we're looking
reaching out.
Yeah, we're looking for anything, and I think coach is working on a couple different things. I think we're trying to get a belt shot somewhere in one of the bigger shows. I think we're trying to get anywhere. I think possibly we're talking about like Combat America or something like that. I think we're looking at LFA. I think we're looking at Valor. I think we're looking at Ryzen. So we're kind of we want a belt, or I know Valor. Like I said, Valor has a belt. Listen, anywhere who has a belt where the UFC will be able to watch. I really think that LFA belt would be a good one to get. Island fights, basically anywhere, man. We're ready to. We're open for whatever. I think coach wants to put together a little bit of a camp. He doesn't want me to fight, so fast because I fought basically twice in a month. So he wants me to kind of chill for a little bit, but yeah, I think we're going to be able to go. So right now we're just looking for. It's hard right now because the shows are so pre-planned because of coronavirus that everything is like so. I mean, but good thing is, I put on a good show. People know I have a big fan base, so it's not it's a little easier to get on cards because we steal the show, do what we got to do, and
well, listen, you trained with amazing people. Black Zillions. Today there's still a bunch of fighters that still fight in the UFC, and you got Tyrone Spong. He's doing boxing. You got Rashad Evans, who is still friends with all these guys. Rumble Johnson wants to get back into the ring.
Yep.
Michael Johnson, like you said, Thiago Alves, he's doing bare knuckle. So you've been around greatness, and it's just, you think it's just hard for a heavyweight to get fights? Because I know a lot of people, you've had a lot of fights lined up that they all end up not being able to fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So I've been on both ends. Like I've and I guess when I say I've been on both ends, like I've never had a fight and then like not showed up to it. But like obviously, before I was making the biggest fight of my life, Bellator, I ended up tearing my LCL and my PCL, and straining my MCL, and that was like hours
in training, right?
But no, that was the day of the fight.
The day of.
I slipped off the mat, the corner of the mat, and I went to throw the kick, and bam. So that's the only fight ever that I've never been able to compete in. But like, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like if I sign my name on something, then we got to do it. That's my birthright. I feel like as a man, as a gladiator, if I'm telling you we're gonna do it, But I've had a lot of guys, it would be like 2-3 months out. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's the week of the fight or weigh-ins, and next thing you know, this guy, stubbed his pinky toe or whatever the case may be. So, I try not to focus on all that stuff, man. There's too much negative going on for me to even really, for me, it's just a matter of, I feel like now that I'm getting higher in the sport, I feel like the shows that we're fighting on, the guys that we're going to be going against, they're going to show up, because they're looking to get their name in there as well. They're trying to get to the big show as well. And so I feel like in the beginning of my career, when you're first starting as a heavyweight, that probably happens a lot more than when you're getting to the top, because now you're starting to get to those guys who are in the same boat as you. They want to get to the UFC or to, PFL, Bellator, wherever. So you don't really run into so many cancellations, the same way.
Right. Yeah. What about Titan FC? Have you ever fought for them? Or
no, so that's another show. I actually thank you for reminding me. Like they got a vacant heavyweight title right now as well. So, anybody, like I said, in those big shows, Titan and all those shows, we're trying to, if they got a show and they're ready to do it, we're ready to do it. So pretty excited about that. And this is a new attitude and mentality I've kind of just developed is like, hey, anybody, anytime, anywhere, let's just do it. Just you gotta trust yourself, trust in your training, trust in the coaches, trust in everybody around you, and I feel like when you do that 100%, then it's like whoever we got, wherever it is, whatever we got to do to get there, you get it done.
Right. Now, what about bare knuckle? What about another BYB show or
Yeah.
BKFC?
So everybody's been asking me. That's the main question I've been getting nonstop. Everyone's like, "Are you done with bare knuckle now?" And blah blah blah. So I mean, I love BYB, man. Like BYB helped me resurge myself, my career. Get myself back on track with everything. I think they're supposed to be doing a show in February or March, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they're 100% certain yet. We're trying to work on something big for that show, man. So we'll, possibly, maybe, potentially throwing in an MMA fight. That might be something in there. Or they gotta again fighting for their belt. Or it is what it is, man. I'm ready to do whatever, man. I really don't care. So if that happens to be the first thing that comes my way, and that's the contract that we get, then that's what we're gonna do. But if it's an MMA, then obviously that's where we're at. Right now it's about getting to the UFC. So that's obviously something that's really high up there. But again,
all right. So we got call outs mandatory heavyweight division. The champion of UFC, Stip Mochek. Second, number one is Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, Alistair Overeem.
I would love to fight Overeem, man. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Super respected guy. I would love to fight Overeem. I would love to fight Ngannou, a great power puncher. I feel like a striker. Obviously, everybody knows the Curtis Blade fight is something that I want to run back. That fight I hurt myself. He hit me with the calf strike. That's it throughout the whole fight. I took him down too. And nothing. I respect Curtis. I respect his game. Nothing but love. But that fight right there, that Curtis Blades fight, is definitely that fight's on my radar. That's the fight that got me off the couch, and that's the fight that got me back into training. Just thinking about that, I saw it on UFC Fight Pass, and then I was like, this fucking guy is number 3 in the UFC right now, and then I was like, nothing against, but I was like, oh man, I was like, okay, it's time to get my ass up. And so again, that fight right there, I mean, if I had to make a call out, man, then but again too, like you got to respect the man's game. Like his wrestling is on the heavyweight division, is his shit breaks people, so again, that's one of those things where you got to respect somebody else's discipline and what they do. And but again, that's a great fight. Any fight in the UFC is a great fight, man. It don't matter if I'm fighting a grizzly bear.
Junior Dos Santos.
Junior Dos Santos is an amazing fighter, a great, well-respected legend of the sport, man. Would love to fight Junior Dos Santos. I feel like that would be a fight to come into. Those guys are still great, still doing big things. Me versus Dos Santos would be fucking amazing, excellent. Obviously I think that would sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and you got another heavyweight that we're struggling in going to all these shows. Just like you, not too long ago, Walt Harris. He got one shot, and they liked him, and he's still on their payroll.
Yeah.
He fought Alistair Overeem. I mean, you can go the same path as him.
It's the same thing, man. All it is right now, man, is just working hard and being ready and staying ready, so that when Dana White and those guys are ready finally, and they come our way, that we're 100% ready to go. So right now, the way that we're training so that we can just remain ready and be ready. So if we get a short notice fight, or if they come to us and say, hey, listen, we want to sign you, we're ready to go. That's my job as a professional, is to be a professional, is to be ready at all times. And listen, I know it's coming. Like I can just sense it. Like when we first started talking, I said, this is going to be my time, man. And I told you that, and I've been honest, and I continue to tell you, like, it's coming. I can taste it, man. It's just the air is different. Everything's just different around me that, now, as opposed to, like, you talked about earlier in my career, I felt like everything I ever did was just fucking struggle. Everything that could go wrong would go wrong, and then I was always fighting something or and now it's just like everything just kind of clicks, man. It's like the puzzle piece. It just all kind of goes together, and You know,
Right.
whatever. You know, it's just like I love it, man. I'm just it's coming though, man. I can feel it. It's coming. So whoever it is that they decide to give us, you know, we'll be ready to go out there and you know, obviously we gotta introduce them to the NyQuil hands, man.
Yeah. So just to reiterate for the fans out there, you've had 16 straight first round stoppages.
15.
15.
Yeah,
Right.
15
And
first
that's
round.
including that's including the MMA and the bare knuckle.
No, that's just MMA.
Okay. So with the bare knuckle then it would be because you
So
got that other first round.
with bare knuckle, it would be 18 first round finishes. Yeah. So if you go to
Yeah.
bare, I'd have 18 first round finishes, you know, and then 5 boxing first round finishes. You know, everything I've ever had is just first round finishes. You know, from kickboxing to boxing to bare knuckle to MMA, it's always been first round finishes. But
Look, I don't see how the UFC can ignore that. How can you ignore that?
it's time. You know, the thing
You
was,
know?
I had took time off. You know, I had took time off, and I'm sure in their mind, yeah, like even though I was winning boxing and then bare knuckle and kickboxing fights, they're like, it's not MMA. So you know, we wanted to not only come back to MMA, but we wanted to fight. The only, you know, my only couple losses in my entire career were to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts and wrestlers. So we
Yeah.
wanted to come out and show, like our very first fight, you know, we didn't care. All we said to the matchmaker was, hey, listen, get us a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. And, you know, they were like, what, you really want to fight a Jiu-Jitsu guy? Like, you know, and they kind of questioned us, but we were like, yeah, get us a Jiu-Jitsu guy. That's what we want. And so, you know, that's what they gave us. They gave us a Jiu-Jitsu guy. We didn't care who. We just said, you know, just get us a Jiu-Jitsu guy. And just to show, you know, just to show everybody, like, hey, listen, we're not playing around. Like, we're in the gym training our wrestling and grappling every single day. You know, like our striking, obviously, we're training it every day as well. But you know, we just wanted to be ready because we're not just one-dimensional anymore, like I used to be. That's why, like, you know, I made a post and I said the evolution. Because you know, you just got to continue to evolve in this sport, and you know, you just don't want to be that traditional heavyweight.
Right, man. Right. I think you against Derek Lewis would be a good fight.
Yeah, man. You know, listen. The one thing that you keep saying that sounds really good, that makes it a good fight, is just my name in there. You know, so
Yeah.
me versus, so me versus who, or me versus this, or me versus that, sounds like a great fight. Sounds like an entertaining fight. And we got some things,
Yeah.
man, that we haven't even shown as far as like my striking, that we're saving, you know, for when the lights are super bright. You know, we're saving it,
Right.
and you know, like I said, man, it's coming. You know, whatever. We're just gonna keep grinding and keep working, and you know, eventually, like I said, they gotta let me in.
Yeah. Well, you
They
got to
gotta
get
let
out
me
of the first round for them to see what you got. You know,
in.
you
Nah,
keep
man,
ending these
listen.
fights in 30
Yeah.
seconds, and
Listen. You know, if it's the beautiful thing now, and then this is what makes it super dangerous. The thing now is different about me than from before is the guy, you know, that would start people at the beginning of my career, you know, and I finished people in the first round. Like I couldn't go more than probably the first round, two, you know, maybe a round and a half. Now I can go like 5 rounds hard. You know, that's the difference between a huge difference between me now is that I'm not scared of throwing, you know, a spinning wheel kick. I'm not scared of throwing a jumping, you know, flying knee or anything because I'm like, oh, I can go all day with this now. You know, as opposed to before, my tool belt was very limited because I was nervous about my gas tank. Or I was scared if I got taken down. So there's a sense now where it's like, okay, I can do all this fun shit now, and I know that I'm gonna be okay. You know, so I think is something that when its time comes, and maybe it's whatever the biggest fight of my life, you know, and maybe that's where it is.
Sorry.
And it's a 5 round fight, you know, for maybe a UFC main event. And we have to put on the bright lights. It go 25 minutes. It's not going to be your typical heavyweight fight where, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, wait 5 minutes, throw another punch, wait 5 minutes. You know, it's going to be action. It's going to be a lot of action. And, you know, we'll put on the show that we need to put on.
exactly. Well, we had no doubt about that. You know, no doubt about you. You bring the action and you bring the excitement. And I hope you get into one of these big shows like Titan
Yeah.
or one of the other ones that Dana watches. You know, anything that's on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, man. Listen, the UFC just needs to hurry up. Let's do this already. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a Titan event,
Mhm.
where they were looking at this guy named Jason Suarez. There was a belt fight, and Dana White shows up for Dana White looking for a fighter, looking for a fight. And he was looking at a bunch of fighters, and he was like, "Sign that guy,
There
sign
you
that
go.
guy."
There you go, man.
And
That's all
and
it
the
takes,
next
man.
thing you know, they're on national TV, pay-per-view, UFC.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
One of
This
the
is
burns.
all. It's all about
Yeah.
grinding, man. Just keep working, and like I said, that's all we're gonna do. You know, I'm gonna keep working, and when that time comes, we'll be there to answer the bell phone.
Nice, nice. So, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Lorenzo?
Man, yeah, man. Shout out to Chicago Fight Team, Coach Paul, Coach Roberto, Coach Lewis Taylor. Shout out to all my teammates down at Chicago Fight Team. Shout out to all my sponsors, 86ers brand, Contenders Clothing, Howdy Rago Tattoos, man, my boys at the Fighting News. Man, I'm forgetting somebody. Listen, anybody I forgot, I love everybody, man. I appreciate my boy down at Clippers Barbershop. Yeah, man, just I'm excited, man. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for everyone who supports me and continues to support me. And, we're on this journey with me together. So we'll get it done.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're big fans. We're big fans, and we hope to see you again in some kind of ring or octagon or something soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. Listen, I love you guys, man. Much support. I appreciate you guys supporting me so much, man. It means a lot.
All right,
Okay,
Lorenzo.
I'll
our
talk to you
pleasure.
guys
You
soon,
got it, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Talk to you
Congratulations on
soon.
the last victory. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, Lorenzo.
All
So,
right.
like Matt, it's like it's hard for heavyweights for some reason to get fights. He's not the only one that.
Well, there's just less of them in the UFC.
There's
That's
less
the
of
thing.
them, right? There's less of them, and they just want to put this. We go to these fights with 10 smalls, 10 mediums, 10 larges, and 10 extra large shirts, and
And you come back
everyone's
with
a
all the
medium.
extra
Everyone's a
larges.
medium. Everyone's a medium. So small or medium, small or medium. There's
Right,
no
and then
large
I
guy.
end up taking all the X's, extra large and double X's, and I've got like 100 fighting new shirts.
Yeah. But it's. I mean, it must be hard to, and also a lot of people in the heavyweight division, they just cancel fights.
Well, a lot
Everywhere.
of them, some of them are canceled because of COVID and stuff like that, and some of them are, they're, the big guys get, not that they get hurt easier, but they get hurt easier. There's more injuries among
Yeah.
That's my theory. Someone could.
So we have a box unveiling tonight.
A box unveiling?
Yes. So
What exactly is that?
I'm going to show you. So in the year 2000 and I think it was 2003, 2004. It was around 2000. It was a while ago. I formed the Fighting News with a friend, Sean, of mine. And then he moved out to California, and I met this guy, Mike, and he was
Mike,
really
that
into
name sounds familiar.
boxing and invited me over his house to watch a boxing event. And then, I had this other friend move down from New York and was like, I want to write for you guys. And then Matt came along. So do you remember what year that is, Matt, when the first Fighting News article you wrote?
The first one that I wrote, I think, was probably 2000 and maybe 2015, 16.
15, 16. So with that being said, Matt has been with the Fighting News for over 5 years, and this is a box unveiling that we got here tonight. Matt, I don't know if you know what this is, but what we have here, check it out. Oh.
Business cards.
The Fighting
Business cards.
News business card for Matt Benolio.
That's my
Writer,
name.
videographer. Boom.
Did you spell everything correctly?
I don't know. but
Yeah, that
I
it looks
tell
good.
just what? Boom. So you're
Wow.
gonna have
Is it
1,000 cards here, Matt.
1,000?
1,000. So we got a box unveiling,
1,000.
unraveling, unboxing. Here they are,
That's going to take me a long time to give all those out, don't you think?
ready for you to hand out.
I'll just hand them to everyone.
Yeah,
I'll give them out in Publix
there you go.
when I'm doing my grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time coming because I know if people ask all the time, "Do you have a business card? We don't
Yes.
want to deal with Steve.
This
We just want to deal with you." You know, and
this was long time coming. It was um, uh, it was something that we wanted to do,
Mm,
and with all Matt's hard work last year in 2019 and 2020, you know, we've come a long way. The fighting news, and a lot of it's because of Matt. You know,
that's right. It's my charm. It's my personality. It's my magnetism. Is
that's
that
right.
it? That's the correct?
2019
Right.
Media
And
Source of the Year. The Fighting News won an award, and I also fought hard for you to get one of those as well, because this is a team. The team's only as good as its parts, and I appreciate you. And you got some business cards there, so don't give them all out in one spot.
I don't think. Well, yeah. No, I am going to give. I'm going to give it to everyone.
That's right,
This is me.
Matty Matt.
Um,
So yeah.
well,
So
I
what else
do.
we got going on? So
I do appreciate that. Well, we need to update our calendar on the website 'cause there's a lot of events going on, a lot
yes,
of things that are exciting.
yes,
It's the 14th right now. The we have on the 23rd of January, Glenn Johnson's first. That's his inaugural promotion. It's history, the first
history.
one.
Yes,
So you can look up Glenn Johnson on Instagram, get tickets, see some good live boxing, some excellent up and coming fighters on that card. Marlon Kelly, who we just interviewed, and Isaiah Thompson is on that card too. Night Night.
hold that
Raphael,
thought. Hold that thought, Matt.
speaking of heavyweights.
That was just a break we had to take from our. I just wanted to see that on.
You just wanted. I like the
just wanted-
music. I like the the guitar part there. But
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, yeah. So we got that coming up on the 23rd. There's a couple of events on the 29th. There's M&R Boxing Promotions down in Miami has a card on the 29th because I know that's my birthday, the 29th, January. And I got to go see boxing on my birthday. Why not?
Boom.
There's a couple of cards on February 20th. There's one up in Orlando that I really want to go to with Andre Rozier's team, Havoc out of Brooklyn. A couple of good fighters. Melissa Parker is headlining. She called out our good friend Maureen Shea on Instagram.
Yeah, I heard that. She's like, let's run it back again.
Yeah, not that they're not fighting on that card. She'll have another opponent.
Yeah.
But I've been in contact with them, and they're I really want to see that show. Those any New York fighters coming down, especially that team. Andre Rozier is world class, and we'll see what they bring to the table. But there is another good card on February 20th that some of the local guys are fighting on too, and that's down in Miami, and I believe Harold Calderon is headlining that one. So it's going to be like that last time where we were in two events at once, and people are like, "How are the fighting news in two places at once?"
That's
But
right.
we were.
We were.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were up in Daytona and I was in Orlando, or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, it was
Um,
good stuff. Good
but
coverage.
yeah, Caroline will be up in Orlando for that show. She'll be there to do some interviews, and maybe you can bring Mike or Melissa or someone who want to go to Miami that night.
We're
And I'll
gonna,
be looking for the live updates because there's a couple of people on that card that I want to see.
yeah, we're gonna post it. We're gonna post it on the website
Yeah,
tomorrow or the next day. That we're gonna have the bunch of events on there and how people can watch it and how people can
right.
buy tickets.
And XFN is coming up again on that's on the 31st of January, I think.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
Which is Sunday. Is that a Sunday? 31st?
it's a Sunday.
Interesting.
And we also have February 5th. We have Super Bowl weekend. Paige Van Zant against
Bare
Britton
knuckle up
Hart.
in Tampa. Yeah.
What we have gonna get Britton on the show.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, I haven't seen the whole card for February 5th, but that win is on it. He's fighting Johnny Bedford. I haven't seen the whole card, so I'm not going to comment on it.
Yeah, so everyone's calling out Thiago Alves for bare knuckle.
Yes, understandable.
So you have everyone in his weight class is calling him out.
Yes.
Everyone's calling him names. Everyone's calling him, sign the contract, sign the contract. So Thiago Alves put it out there today. Listen, there's no contract in front of me. I have not been offered a fight who I'm fighting.
Right.
I'll fight any of you freaking guys, bare knuckle. They gave him a date and they said, you're fighting on this date. We haven't figured out who you're fighting. Okay? So, Hector Lombard called him out. Said, I want to fight you. Sign the goddamn contract. Yuli called him out as well. So everyone wants to fight him because he's a
big name. He's
a
a
big
draw.
name. And yeah. But according to Alves, they haven't given him who they want him to fight. So
Right.
he's not ducking anything.
And then, of course, we have Jared fighting Mallow.
Yes.
I'll be surprised if that gets out of the first round.
Yeah, I don't know. He said I think he said he had to lose 25, 30 pounds in
Something
30
like
days.
that. Yeah, which is I've seen pictures of him and on his frame. That's going to be very difficult.
So, if I was a betting person.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He'll show up overweight and they'll say, look, you can fight for half your purse. And they'll ask Jared if he still wants to go through with it. And he'll say, yes, I'm sure. And
yeah,
they'll give Jared the other half of his purse.
Yeah.
Which is they should. I have no problem with that rule. If
Yeah.
that's what they do in bare knuckle, but they should,
Yeah. So that's a wrap. We got a bunch of events. Check our website. We're going to be posting all the events coming up. But there's a lot, and we're going to get some really good coverage in the next 2 months. I got some really good coverage of Mayweather at Length the King boxing event in Daytona. Our pictures came out ridiculous. Me and Gerardo's pictures came out real awesome. We're going to start posting a bunch of more of those photos as well. And more of bare knuckle. I mean, just, we take 5,000 pictures in a night. How many can we post? Maybe 100, good ones, you
Right.
know. But the
But you
pictures
still
to
got
someone
more.
else, right? You know, some of the pictures to someone else, they're like, you know, did you get me any pictures of me and my team? And I'm like, yeah, you know, like, oh, can you send it to me? You know,
Yeah.
so
I know it. I know it. Well, listen, man, thanks for the business cards. Now people know, what my look, just don't call me. I'll call you. That's
yeah,
all I'm saying. I don't know why, but for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting all these crank, not crank phone, the solicitation, your car warranty, you're this, you're that, scam likely. All right.
yeah,
I don't need to deal with that.
yeah. So
But
shout out, we got shout outs, Matt. So shout out to Lorenzo, the Dream Killer Hood, for coming
yes,
on our show. Shout out to David Flat Sparks. Keep doing what you're doing. All call outs mandatory. Follow that guy. He's hysterical. They do really good call outs on this show. In fact, I think he's down here in Florida at Warriors Boxing Gym. I saw him post something. He's training with Shannon the Cannon Briggs. Shout out to Shannon. Follow us on Facebook, thefightingnews.com. Facebook at The Fighting News, YouTube, The Fighting News, Instagram, _fighting_news, and of course our website, which is going to be updated very soon with all the events coming up, www.thefightingnews.com.
oh, that's the one thing I want to tell you.
Oh,
I got an article from a submission from someone emailed today, and I read it and I wrote back to the guy and I said, "This is a good article. Could we run this?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, who wrote it?" He's like, "I did." I'm like, "You did this interview?" He said, "Yeah." So look, if you guys, anyone listening out there, has something that they want to post on our website, not the Instagram, on the website, that's a little bit longer, like an article or an interview, just hit us up, just let us know, and we'll definitely take a look at it and print it for you.
well, there you go.
Yeah,
Shout outs welcome. Articles welcome.
yeah. Send us some articles. All
Send
right.
us.
You got a bio or something? You're an up and coming fighter, or you have newsworthy news?
Speaking
Then
of
let
news,
us know.
hold up, Matt.
Submit it.
We got news. You want to hear it?
No, no,
We
I'm leaving. Don't just you keep it to yourself.
no. I gotta tell you the news.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. Go ahead. Spit it out.
it's not confirmed,
Not
but
confirmed. That's the best kind of news.
I have a rumor that on February 5th, bare knuckle, Yuli is fighting.
It's an unconfirmed rumor.
No, the person he's fighting is unconfirmed,
Okay.
but people know the guy from UFC. Okay, Bellator. The guy's been around for quite some time.
He's been on both UFC and Bellator.
I know for sure he's been on Bellator.
Is his first initial T?
It's not,
Okay.
but
Well, we're not high school gossipers here. All
we're
right.
not.
When Yuli's ready to make his announcement, then we'll shout it out for him and all that.
That's right.
Unless it involves really, like Logan Paul or any of those knuckleheads.
Right.
Yeah.
When we broke that news that went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that will
Oh,
post.
that fight's coming up too.
Yeah. It is. That'll that's not even I don't even want to put that on our web. Everyone will know about that. Everyone will throw away their money to see that, and
So I
whatever.
just typed in Logan, and the first thing that comes up is Logan Paul against Floyd Money Mayweather. It's
Yeah,
on February 20th. 50-0 record, hasn't fought since 2018 in
yeah.
Japan when he
No
knocked out.
interest. No interest. I'm going to be watching the boys from Brooklyn and Melissa Parker up there in Orlando.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll watch the highlights. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, we are the Fighting News. We cover all combat sports. So at the end of the day, we're going to be posting stuff about that fight as well. I actually reached out to a bunch of people involved with Logan Paul to get him on the show, and I'm working on that. So stay tuned.
All right, come on the show, Logan.
Come on the show, Logan. And it's a wrap, Matt.
It is. It's done. It's over.
It's
It's
it.
over, man. It's a night.
Would you like to thank anyone?
No, I think I want to thank Marlon Kelly for coming on the other night. It was, why? Because he got some good feedback about his interview.
Okay,
So,
good.
I like to hear that kind of stuff. So I told him that if we run into him at any event or whatever, and he wants to do an interview and hold the mic and stuff like that, I mean, get your face out there. I want to give it. I also want to give a shout out to Kat Nelson, who's got her own podcast now. Remember, she came on here, with Philly Fresh. She really didn't want to come on by herself.
Yeah,
and now she's got her own podcast.
Yeah, we broke her into it.
Yeah, and we've done that with look, and even with some of the people that we've known for years, that we've interviewed years ago, and we see them interview them again and again and again, and they build their interview skills, and they get better at it.
Okay.
That's great. I enjoyed seeing was that Nico Stacks Bundles.
Nico Stacks.
Yeah, that guy gives a great interview.
Well, why do you think I grabbed him?
Yeah, he's when's his fight coming up? We have to promote that, man. That kid deserves anything that he can. Any title that he gets, man. I know he's training hard and he works full time also.
Yep.
Who else have we seen lately? Those are the two things that really stick out in my mind.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here. The Fighting News. We just want to congratulate Lorenzo Hood, the Dream Killer, on his last victory with Valor Fighting. It was in Knoxville, Tennessee, 77. He bum rushed the guy and just literally, when he said 22, I didn't even think it was that many, but it was definitely was. I don't want this fight happening anymore. Let's go.
Yeah.
And once you do that flurry of punches, the refs really don't want to see the guy getting hurt underneath. Because one of those shots can really hurt him.
Yeah, if that was a boxing match and there were 25, it wouldn't go to 25. It would go to about 10. If there's 10 unanswered, undefended punches, they're going to stop it.
Yeah. So
25 is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But he was in rugby. He was a rugby player, football player. So I mean, he knows how to bum rush these guys.
Yeah, we spoke to him last time about playing rugby, and rugby that's just a tough sport.
Yeah,
I mean, you're running full speed at someone with no protective gear on it. A couple of rugby players I know have had titanium plates in their head and broken bones, and it's a rough sport.
That's right.
Rough sport for sure.
All right. Thanks, Fighting News people. Tune in next time when we have our next live event. Talk to
Good
you later.
night.
Good night.
See you soon.